Welcome to this Tau Farsight Enclave's C Studio full army review with Vanguard Tactics. Hey, I'm Stephen from Vanguard Tactics, and today I'm joined with Michael. How you doing, Michael?
I'm great, thank you. Very excited for this.
Now, Michael is one of our VT coaches and an expert at Tau, so I thought, who better to bring him on to talk to you about the Tau than Michael? So, as you can see, what an absolute stunning army this is, and massive thank you to C Studios for commission painting this army for us. Now, this, for me, I've always wanted a C Studios army. Always wanted one. And receiving this in the post, it was actually hand-delivered from James, but when I received it, nonetheless, I was just over the moon. And I can't express how exciting the entire project work was, from sending off the models to writing down all the different unit options, talking to James and the team about a colour scheme that I wanted, and it looks incredible. What do you reckon?
Oh, it's absolutely stunning, down to the finest detail. It's beautiful. You know, you've got all of the vehicles, you've got all of the battle suits, and you've got the infantry as well, loads of drones. It's a mix of everything that's so flavourful and unique to the Tau, and it's a sight to behold.
Yeah, and what I love about the colour scheme is that I wanted something really traditional in terms of Farsight. I'm a really big fan of combat. Yeah. So when I was, it's my favourite phase of the game, so when I'm looking at playing Tau, I needed a combat element. So obviously I had to go for the main man, Farsight. That blade, everything, just had to go in the list. And I really wanted a traditional army that looks and feels like it should play on the table. So when I spoke to James about what I wanted, that was kind of really that approach we went for, and then they chose all the accessory colours, like the grey. I think works really well, balances off the that sort of real deep red. But what I love about it is that you look up close, the edge highlighting is impeccable. They're just the finest detail of battle damage. Yeah. The fact that all the Farsight Enclave sort of shoulder pads have been painted on. And just completely across the table, it's all consistent. And I'm actually looking forward to getting some more stuff added to this, maybe like a Riptide, maybe some stealth suits, just to really fill out this, because this is going to be our studio Tau army. Yeah. So we do really want it to have sort of lots of different things. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible. You can see on all of the breeches, the shoulder pad. Normally they don't come with that in the kit. It's not an option. It's not molded on or anything. Yeah. But they've gone down to the tiniest details, and every single breacher has that Farsight Enclaves insignia painted on. Yeah. And it just brings so much character to the army beyond just a Tau army.
So normally they just like a round.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's all been hand. Okay, I wasn't.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
It's incredible. Normally, so you're familiar with the normal Tau symbol. That's sort of the circle inside, and then the two halves, and that is the symbol for the Firecast in the Tau, actually. Okay. But Farsight, of course, being a divergent from the Empire, has its own symbol, and that's been painted onto their army. Wow. It's incredibly cool.
The other thing that I wanted was an army that I could utilise in in different ways. And just from the most basic elements of things like the hammerheads here, we've got the eye on, and then that comes off, easily replaceable with the rail. And then what they've done is another step where, for example, every single crisis battlesuit weapon is customizable. So you've got the little shield generators at the top there, they're magnetized on. I mean, I think they've got borrowers putting these magnets on because they're absolutely tiny. But things like the shield generators, the missiles, the burst cannons, you know, we can swap those off for flamers, we can swap them off for fusion. I mean, Michael's sat here an entire box of painted, completely painted edge highlight, everything, weapons options for the commanders, the crisis suits. And then also, I think you mentioned to me earlier that I didn't even know this, but this Cold Star here, what they've done is they've magnetized the jetpack. So if we want a Cold Star, great. If we want a little bit more speed, or if we want a little bit more, they go the other way, like that. Yeah. Or we can have an Enforcer commander.
Yeah, exactly. So Steve, we've got a collection of Tau here, and you know, you sent off this package to Siege Studios. What drew you to these sort of models in particular?
Yeah, so the first one was obviously I wanted to make sure I could get probably the fastest route to success, right? And what I mean by that was looking at what's the army going to need, and obviously we need to start off with some sort of form of troops. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, Farsight was straight in the basket. Yeah, he had to go in, and then Farsight for me, as far as I'm aware, commanders are their real big thing in terms of HQs. Yeah. So I wanted to make sure I had different options. So I think we've got 2 different variations. And obviously the Cold Star or Enforcer is cool. Yeah. So we've got some different choices there. So I wanted to fill out the HQ slots. I also wanted a Shadow Sun. Yeah. In case I ever want to use this army as a different type of army. Yeah, absolutely. Then obviously Shadow Sun could lead that. It could be a Tau Sept or custom Sept, as it were. So I thought I wanted that done as well as a real feature model, the Shadow Sun. So for me, I've got those 4 HQs that I could swap between. And then we're looking at obviously, you know, filling out the troops. I love the battle suits. For me, it's really where the army, the crisis suits, I think, are a really fantastic model. And back when I first started playing 40k, it wasn't too long after Tau got released, and I can remember sitting at home actually drawing some of the Tau models. One of my friends, Lee, had a great Tau army, and I thought I really would like that. And back in the day, I can remember running my Black Templars, and he used to just hammer me with hammerheads. And I thought, right, what absolute iconic models from these crisis suits that I think at the time could jump, shoot, jump and stuff. So I thought, yeah, this is really cool. So I just bought 4 of the Get Started boxes. Because in each of those you get a set of troops. I think breaches, up close and personal, certainly for me. Yeah. I love that. Again, it has to be as combat based as possible. So yeah, those sort of combat shotguns. So the breaches had to go in. So 4 units of those. And then I thought with the 12 crisis suits, if it's all optional, then I could run, you know, larger units. I could break them into, obviously with the rule of 3, I know I can take some bodyguard in some regular crisis. So I've got lots of different options here where I can go, you know, 4 units of 3, 1 unit like 3 and then a bodyguard unit maybe. Or I could go 2 blocks of 6. I think that 12 number is quite nice to work with. So yeah, because obviously you get 3 in each box. So that was obviously those. I've got plenty of drones. I've got loads of markers. I've got loads of shield drones. I thought you can't go wrong with those. And then obviously I need to get those breaches up close. So to fit the theme of this just real speed Tau army, I wanted the Devilfish. So 4 Devilfish are in the list as well. And actually, once running this army, I found the Devilfish are brilliant. You know, tagging, charging, getting really aggressive on the table, zoning out, holding objectives, and obviously protecting my troops. So your 4 Devilfish for the 4 units of troops. Obviously the crisis can go into deep strike, and then we've got 2 hammerheads because I had to have them. I just had to. I think of it as if you see a hammerhead down the other side of the table, you should literally be petrified. If you're a knight or that, just look at it, it's massive. So I really felt like I need to get these guys on the table. and then 2 Remora drones. Now these are a Forge World unit.
Yeah.
But I just think they're really cool.
Yeah.
And I think for the mission, like for example, engaging all fronts or whatever,
Yeah.
what a great vehicle or unit to do that. What a great way to screen out a deployment zone or whatever it might be. So I thought, okay, they can definitely go in, you know, starting to think about the mission a little bit more. And obviously now, the Tau Codex has just been, the front cover has just been previewed by Warhammer community, which is super exciting. I can't wait to see what they get. Really can't wait, and hopefully once we get some extra little bits into this, like the Riptide, maybe some Ghost Kills, some stealth teams, some crew potentially. We're going to have so many different choices in whichever way the sort of meta goes. I think with this we've got lots of different places we can go, all the different weapon options, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got a box of 200 weapons here. It's absolutely fantastic. All the units are iconic. We know that Farsight favours crisis suits. He has a personal bodyguard of 80 in the lore. 80? Imagine 80 bodyguard crisis suits. Can you imagine that dropping on the battlefield?
Wow.
It's absolutely epic. And of course, Farsight's known for Montcar, which is an aggressive style of the Tau sort of fighting. And Breachers lay into this with their shotguns, getting up close. We know they currently have rules for, you know, getting in close, re-rolling those ones within 6 with their shooting weapons. We don't know what the new codex is going to bring, but hopefully leans into that even more. We've got crisis suits, fast, jumping around. I mean, battle suits for me are the coolest thing about Tau. And then of course we've got, you know, these hammerheads, and I'm really looking forward to see what GW does with the hammerheads in the new book. In the lore, the hammerhead is described as the railgun is a whip crack sound, and then you just sort of see the hole in the side of the Lehman Russ, and sort of the insides have just gone everywhere through that hole. So it's really quite terrifying in the lore, and I'm very excited to see where we go with that.
Yeah. Oh, I literally can't wait. But you know, if you're not familiar with Siege Studios, definitely check them out. They've got a Patreon where they do loads of painting tips. James is a regular on the podcast, the Competitive 40k podcast that we do. And that's also going to be coming back. We have to take a bit of a short break while we move studios, but that's going to be coming back, and James gives us like a top painting tip every single week, which is great. But yeah, they've got their Patreon where you can learn more. They do their masterclasses, so you can actually sit and have some tuition with them. And wherever you are in the world, their armies are absolutely stunning. And it was a real privilege throughout the entire process, whether I was filling out the form, choosing everything that I wanted, you know, speaking to the team about the colour schemes and everything. And throughout the entire time, they were sending me pictures constantly. It's like teasing you, really, of these are the work in progress on the tanks, these are all the guns. And then, you know, each stage, it was just looking more epic. And then all of a sudden, it was finished. So it was really something to behold. And I think if you are, you know, if you love the game of 40k, and if you ever think to yourself, if there's one thing that you really wanted, I would definitely recommend getting a commission painted army, because the compliments that you get on it is stunning. I just want to put it on the table. I just want to play with it. It really, I mean, I'm not a great painter, but it's been one of the only armies I've ever had where I just want to put the models on the table. I want to use them, regardless of their, you know, current, you know, they're not the most meta hot pick at the moment, but I do want to play with them. They're super fun because the paintwork looks so cool. Yeah,
absolutely. And I actually think that a stunning paint job and getting an army commissioned is probably the biggest gift to yourself that you can give to inspire you to keep playing, to really enjoy your games, and to just immerse yourself into what is a fantastic hobby.
Yeah, absolutely. So look, first of all, Siege, thank you so much for this. It really has been a privilege. I hope you guys at home, part of the VT community, have enjoyed this one as well. And I really do. And if, like I said, you ever feel like you want to get yourself a commission army, I would recommend them, because their service is impeccable. You're very well treated. Absolutely, like you can never swap time. You can never get time back. And the amount of hours that I'd have had to put into this army to get it built to the standard, getting rid of every single mold line, every single nodule, you name it, it's perfection. And then not only that, but the actual paint job itself. I mean, I could have not only I probably could have gone on enough tuition lessons, put in enough practice before I even started on the models to actually get them to that point.
Yeah.
But then to actually get it in the time period that I got it, and I'll never get that time back if I was to try and do this myself. So I'm a real big advocate for it. And yeah, people love it. People love seeing it on the streams.
Yeah.
People just constantly want to see more and more pictures of it. So again, Siege Studios, thank you so much. And to the artists that did this, exceptional. Thank you.
Thank you.
You really made my day. So anyway, look, that was the Siege Studios Tau Farsight Enclave review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let us know. And we'll do plenty more like this. We can talk about next time maybe some of the other studio armies that we have. We could go over some colour schemes and things if that's something that you would enjoy. So let us know, because obviously we do want to support the other side of the hobby of, you know, really building that immersion through great paint schemes, and getting that not only battle ready, but then beyond that as well. So thank you so much, and we'll see you on the next video.